And welcome back to For Such a Time as This, the place where there is no such thing as a silent witness. As a Christian, how do we interpret the current events? Where are we on God's timeline? I'm going to answer that in the next few minutes. President Trump, very upset. He wants peace in the Middle East between Israel and Iran. And he had this to say.
Ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck. You understand that?
Do you have to respond to Iran?
We had to bleep that out. So we have some discussion here at our church, New Hope Community Church in Palatine, Illinois. Where are we on God's timeline? Where are we? I'm going to put forth my theory. It is somewhat complex, but I'm here to make the complex understandable. There's two main conflicts, two main wars going on right now in the world. And how do we look at that? If, in fact, these are the final days, and if this generation will see the second coming of Christ. 1 Thessalonians 5:3 says this, while people are saying there is peace and security, then suddenly destruction will come upon them as labor pains come upon a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. But you are not in darkness, brothers, for that day to surprise you like a thief. For you are all children of light, children of the day. How are we to look at the two main conflicts in the world, Middle East, Ukraine and Russia? How are we as children of the light to interpret that? Where are we in God's timing? If in fact we are in the latter days. Let me put those two into context. Let's put it on God's timeline, because I do believe it's very possible we're in the last days. So in Israel, where do I put this conflict in Israel between Israel and Iran, Israel and the Middle East? And Daniel 9:27 says, and he shall make a strong covenant with many for 1 week, and for half of the week he shall put an end to sacrifice and offering, and on the wing of abominations shall come one who makes desolate until the decreed end is poured out on the desolate tour. That is Daniel 9. The Antichrist is going to make a peace with many. I believe that is the current peace agreement that is coming. If Iran actually backs down, it is now June 25th, 2025. If Iran backs down, and for the first time, in 50 years or so, Iran is going to make peace with Israel. This is the peace you're going to have. And it says with many. I think the UN and the many states, many countries are going to come in, make peace. It says for 7 years, but midway through, in context of Daniel, it's a long book, but in context, 1 week, 7 years, they're going to make a 7-year deal. He's going to break it. He, the desolator, he's going to break it 3.5 years into the 7-year peace treaty. Okay? That's going to be the Antichrist when he goes into the Holy of Holies and is revealed. But he's going to make a strong covenant with the UN, and he's going to be a little horn, not a big horn. When he rises in the book of Daniel, he's going to be a little horn. It's going to replace 3 big horns. And then he's going to take over the one world government. That's the Middle East. And it seems like it's going right on schedule. But wait a minute. What about this Ukraine thing? Revelation 6. Now I watched when the Lamb opened one of the 7 seals. I believe that is when the tribulation starts. And I heard one of the 4 living creatures say with a voice like thunder, "Come and look, and behold, a white horse, and its rider had a bow, and a crown was given to him, and he came out conquering and to conquer." I believe the white horse is Satan. He is going to conquer and rule the earth. And with him, there's going to be other horses. Here's the first horse. Revelation 6:3, when he opened the 2nd seal, I heard the 2nd living creature say, "Come," and out came another horse, bright red. Its rider was permitted to take peace from the earth so that people should slay one another, and he was given a great sword. So this second rider is going to bring war. How are we to look at this Russia-Ukraine war? Possibly. That war is going to escalate, and it's going to spread beyond Ukraine. If the EU gets involved, if China and North Korea gets involved on the other side with Russia, this war thing is going to spread beyond the borders of Russia and Ukraine, and peace is going to be taken from the earth. And the subsequent horses that's going to come, inflation, pestilence. If there is, quote unquote, a World War III, oil prices will rise. Economies will collapse. Banks will close, and inflation will skyrocket. That's the second horse. I'm sorry, that's the third horse. The first one is war, which leads to inflation, which leads to pestilence. It seems like it is very well coming into focus, all of it. And all of it seems to be coming into focus all at the same time. How do you have the little horn and what's going on in the Middle East with Israel, and at the same time, the seals that potentially can be opened, which will lead to the catastrophic worldwide events? I think that's where we are on the timeline. As the old saying goes, time will tell. We'll see.
For such a time as this,